What's up, guys? This is Theo here. Welcome back to Free Code Camp, lessons 16 through 30 on Bootstrap. We're going to start off with style text inputs as form control, and then we're going to make our way down and finish up. With this section at least. So it says, give the submit button in your forms class of, let's go down and see it. So we're going to give it a class of, my bad, let me go in here, class of button primary. Watch that change, there we go. Add an I-class within your submit button. So this is a icon, and we're going to say I with a class of font awesome, paper plain. And there we go, we got our paper plain. And let's run our test. Give the text input class a class of form control, my bad. So we also want to give our text input the class of form control, and that'll style it up pretty nicely. You can see it focuses. Let's run that, and let's move on to our next challenge. And it says nest your form submission button and text input in a div with a class of row. Okay, so div.row, and then let's nest everything inside this row. Let me pull that back out there, and nest your form submission button and a div with a class of input will be 7, div.column xs7, and let's grab that. And then we also want div.column xs5. Remember, I told you everything has to add. I told you guys everything has to add up to 12. Let's see how this looks. Nice. So they're pretty nicely stacked next to each other. And let's move on now. So what we want to do is add an h3 element to the page. So we're going to do h3. Should have the class of text primary, and then we also want to give it text center and shout out the text jQuery playground. And cool. Let's run our test. Awesome. Next up, guys, we want to, your div element should have the class container fluid. Okay, and I'm going to put our h3 around this. You'll see this will center it. Well, I guess it's not going to do anything, but it's going to center everything inside of there. Let's run that. Next up, add a div element below your h3. So div right there. It's a class of row, and your row div should be nested inside. Let's say hello. Cool, and let's run that. All right. Next up, create 2 div elements within your row, both with column xs6. So remember, it's going to add up to 12. Column xs6 times 2. And now we have 2 of them. And let's run that. Cool. Next up, we are going to add a well within each of our, a well is just a Bootstrap styling. You can sort of see it, it's like a panel. And div.well, and then we got our wells. Let's run that. Cool. That's 3 button elements within each of your wells. So we'll do button times 3 and button. My bad. Button times 3. There we go. Let's run that. Cool. Next up, apply both button and button default to each of your buttons. So instead of doing that, I'm going to show you guys a quicker way to do this. I'm going to do button, class of button, default, and what's the next one we want to do? Button default, now times 3. So now we have 3 of those buttons, and we're going to copy that, put it in here, and there we go. Let's run that. Let's see. Apply the button class to each of your button elements. Oh, my bad. See, that can sort of trip you up sometimes. And there we go. Cool. Next, we're going to give each of our buttons a class of target. So say target target, 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 and target. All right, let's run this. And what we're going to do now is give the well on the left the ID of left well and the right well. So ID is going to be left well and ID is going to be right well. Pretty simple. Let's keep going. Next up, we're going to add an H4 element to each of the inside of each of these. So H4 and one H4 element should have the text left well. So we're going to say left well, and then here we're going to say right well. Cool. And awesome. That looks like that's all we need for that. Next up, we are going to, one button should have the element, have the ID of target 1. So we're going to say ID is target 1, ID is target 2, ID is equal to target 3, ID is equal to target 4, ID is equal to target 5, and ID is equal to target 6. So let's run that. Good to go, pretty simple. Next up, give each of your button elements text that corresponds. So inside of our buttons, we're going to give them some text. We're going to say target 1, and I'm going to copy and paste this so I don't have to write this as much. Target 2, target 3, do target 4, target 5, and target 6. Cool. Next up, we're going to add a comment to the top of our HTML that only says what we're going to do. And it's going to, so what it's going to say is only change code above this line. All right, cool. And let's make sure, I'm pretty sure that's the end of this section. We just finished it. Yeah, so guys, we just finished responsive design with Bootstrap. Next up, guys, will be jQuery. So we'll work on that, and then we'll move on to basic JavaScript. So I hope you guys enjoyed the course on Bootstrap. Make sure to like, comment, and as always, please subscribe and support the channel. It means a lot. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.